Chapter 8. Las Maeolas is a huge area consisting of 12 layers, 6 of which are the worlds of the Demon Kings. The bottom level houses an underground prison and a storage facility, while the top level houses a guest room, which also serves as the boss's mob chamber, a king's room, a strategy room, and a treasury. Elad accompanied Suudaro and explained the facilities of Las Maeolas castle to him. They've arrived at the underground prison, which has a terrifying atmosphere. This is a place where those who have committed a crime in our world are captured and made to repent for their own folly for eternity. Elad explained without hesitation with a big smile on his face, and Suudaro, though quite taken aback, walked fearfully through the dimly lit camp. Although Suudaro has not yet entered the world that Elad refers to, he recognizes that he is referring to the world under their governance, which is even larger than the poorly designed areas that exist in eternity. Originally, before players could conquer the Las Maeolas castle at the end of the game, they had to break through each of these worlds and defeat each level boss before finally defeating Elad, the first-ranked guardian. As a side note, Elad's definition of crime referred to mobs that have committed particularly atrocious acts, such as the killing of one's own people, cannibalism, or treason. The camps function as simple prisons, and inside are rampaging mobs drooling with bloodshot eyes, ready to attack at any moment. A chorus of menacing chants begins from the excited mobs, and the metallic clang of the iron bars rings out. Suudaro shrank back in fright. They are ferocious and powerful, and we have been trying to find a way to tame them, but they may be a danger to you, my lord. But do not worry, because tonight we will dispose of them all. Elad stated nonchalantly, and beckoned him out of the camp. Now, please come this way. And Suudaro turned around once then left the camp. My lord, please use this room. Oh, okay. Finally, Suudaro was led into a large room that appeared even more luxurious than the room above. The room was furnished with an opulent bed, a table, and chairs, as well as the same carpet as in the hallway. After the door closed, Suudaro sighed and sat on the bed and petted Punyo, the slime he held in his arms. Punyo, you are the only thing that heals me. At the moment, there was only one type of slime that could be summoned. A dungeon originally needed to have 50 slimes in it before it could be called a proper one, but he already got 6 monsters living in this building. That's why he didn't feel the need to summon more slimes, so Suudaro just kept Punyo. Suudaro named it Punyo because of its blue color, which he associated with the color of men's restrooms, but is quoted from the slime mob description. Slime is single-celled creature and has no gender, so the name has no relevance. He casually opened the dungeon menu from the skill list and selected Training and Synthesize, which were new options added after summoning the Punyo. Training is a function that will consume a certain amount of time to complete, and once completed, it will grant an experience, status, skills, or other benefits to its subject. While synthesis are functions that allow him to select 2 or more mobs and either strengthen one or create a completely new mob based on the other. But there are no mobs to synthesize. There is an element of gambling. Still, it is said that, if you want to get a strong mob efficiently, it is better to synthesize the first slime you get and the next one on the list. However, if too many points are spent, traps and dungeon expansions will be neglected, so everything must be balanced. Suudaro, on the other hand, decided to spend all of his points on Punyo because he thought all of those theories were unnecessary in the face of this strong fortress, guards, traps, territories, and king-class mob. Also because Punyo was the only one who could give Suudaro comfort. Although he was being cared for, Suudaro was only an elementary school student until a short while ago. He felt quite suffocated in this space full of adults he did not know. Before choosing to train, he decided to synthesize for now. Oh, so the mobs in the camps can be used for synthesis? Normally, Suudaro would have had 0 options, since he had not summoned any other mobs. There were various mobs on the list, with the word prisoner added to them, and as he scrolled through the list a couple of times, he found out that there were so many that he could not see the end of them, even though he already scrolled for quite a bit. I didn't know there were that many. And Elad said that they were going to be disposed of tonight? The strength of the mobs in the line ranged from level 80 to 100, but in the eyes of level 120 Demon Kings, the difference was as great as the difference between an elephant and a water flea. In some games, the slightest difference in level can make a huge difference in status. This is especially true in games where the amount of experience increases as one's level increases. The level difference in Eternity is working like that. In this world, 5 level difference is enough to change the difference in status by tens. What a waste. Remembering Elad's cool-headed face, Suudaro was convinced that Elad was the type to stick to his words. If he said he was going to dispose of the mobs, he would definitely dispose of them. In synthesis, you can choose the base mobs and then strengthen them by feeding them other mobs without changing the original appearance. Furthermore, it was stated that the first synthesis is free as a first-time bonus. Rather than being disposed of, please be reborn inside Punyo instead. Sudoro considered it, then chose Punyo as a base and select over 10,000 mobs held in prison before pressing the Start Synthesis button. He then pushed the button, and after a short while, Punyo was enveloped in a dazzling light.